I know that I did have obviously some very cool plans here to do what you could see on GIMP right now, make it the best gotcha game of all time. But let me just set some things up. Yeah, I might just do this. I have like a playlist called Nostalgia. I might just use this playlist because I don't think anything on here is like too. It's very short, but it's not. I don't think it's anything is gonna like really hurt to play. We'll just go with this playlist. That's okay. Yeah, sure. I enjoy Mario and Luigi music. The original like idea for the stream that I was gonna have. Originally, this was gonna be just a recording, a video, but I decided to stream it because why not? Someone on Twitter made like some lists of what they would consider to be the best in class for gacha games. I could just show it to you guys. I think that might be a little easier. Okay, yeah. I pulled up Twitter for this reason. I would not show Twitter otherwise because people will be pulling whole hog out on Twitter, and I don't want to get banned. Yeah, so someone made this thing, worst gacha game ever, and they listed all these gacha games. Yeah, I took it because I wanted to. I yoinked it. I stole it. The noble thief I am. I decided to take it and make a video of my own out of it. So yeah, I literally just I copy and pasted it into GIMP. uh, yeah, so we're doing that. I added a category. Look, I'm not a complete thief. I did add a category. I had a game balance. So, you know, if anything, I improved it. But thank you to that person on Twitter for this idea. Because it definitely wasn't mine. And yeah, I'm going to basically just be putting gacha games, creating the best gacha game if we were to just take parts of gacha games out of them and then put them into like a new game. Starting from scratch. We're going to also do the worst one because that was what that person did. But yeah, aside from that, before I start the video, or stream, this is I need to record. I need to say something for the video people, not the stream people. Thank you to the people who commented on the tier list. I was not expecting that many people to be commenting on the tier list. I'm happy that the Limbus Company fans enjoyed the video. I was mildly frightened by the Limbus fans because on Twitter, they don't seem to be the nicest people, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But everyone was very nice in the video, even though I was kind of dogging on the Limbus gameplay. People were very nice. So thank you to the Limbus fans and anyone else who were the non-Limbus fans who were commenting on the video. Thank you to everyone who watched it and for the support on that. There are people who were asking about like Honkai Impact. There was someone who asked about Battle Cats. So thank you to everyone who watched the video and for the support. I hadn't been on YouTube for a while, so I was not expecting any views at all, to be completely honest with you. So, let's just start, I guess. So when I actually did start the recording for this video earlier, but my computer completely died and crashed, so I'm gonna have to start from scratch. I'm going to repeat what I said when I first started recording the video earlier today, before I decided to just stream it. I'm not gonna start from the top because I don't wanna. Yeah, no reason. I just don't wanna. Let's start with game balance. I'm gonna have to copy and paste it. The person on Twitter, they were doing like a one per category type of rule. I'm not gonna do that because I don't wanna. It sounds like too much trouble for me to actually care. So I'm gonna just start from scratch. Let me also instead of, because I keep on opening up OBS to read chat. I don't have a full streaming setup, chatters or YouTube. Sorry, I have to make sure that my stream chat is open on my phone over here. There you go. I can now see you, chat. Don't worry. I don't need to continually hot swap between chat and GIMP. Yeah, so we're just gonna start from this. Okay, game balance. I feel like most people who play gacha games are probably gonna know that most gacha games are balanced terribly. Because they don't really care about balance, because if you create balance issues in a gacha game, you could simply sell the solution to your player base, and they probably won't complain about it much. There might be some people, but most of them won't. So it might be kind of hard for me to like pinpoint a specific game that's like actually has like the best gacha balance. But I think, well, maybe I should just go through these gacha games. Okay, ZZZ actually buffs the characters. So maybe you shouldn't say that. I don't think ZZ. I think ZZ in contention for best, just because it's not terrible. Wuthering Waves. I don't know. I don't think the guy like there's not too much power creep, but I don't know why. I'm not feeling like they do anything actively to prevent power creep. I can't speak for Limbus here because again the gameplay for Limbus is something I'm not too aware of. I don't like Limbus's gameplay, so I can't speak on it much. Uh I'm not gonna go through all of these, I think I have to look for what I think sticks out as being examples of good balance. Which is really it's ZZZ and I think like is it Fate? I think it might be Fate, guys. I know Fate be getting a lot of hate, like pretty frequently, but I think it might be Fate. The problem is other gacha games here like have a lot of power creep. Even like I thought about Nikke for a second, and I mean Kairos, you could I think kind of attest to this. Nikke has like a lot of really good units and a lot of good teams you can make, but then I forget that like SR units in Nikke are like all bad. Like you're not gonna be pulling up to fight against the Rapture Queen with N102. Like that's not a thing. So I don't know if I could realistically say that like I don't know if I could say that Nikke is like the best balanced gacha game. At least ZZZ, I'd be seeing people on Twitter be posting like, oh Billy the Kid, 3 starring like Shiyu defense or whatever, or Ben doing it. It's like you get like a you get like actually like pretty cool clears. So you know what? I won't put one. I'll put two because I guess I'm a fence sitter. I don't know. I I can't make up my mind. I also should have named these icons so it'd be easier for me to actually. This is already terrible. Yeah, there you go. Okay, balance is gonna be Fate, and it's gonna be ZZZ. I'll copy and paste that as it goes. I'm gonna put two of these. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say about balance. When we do worst gacha game, I think it's going to be a lot more interesting because I will be probably insulting some people's favorite gacha games. Not that I look forward to that because people get defensive, and frankly speaking, I don't want to argue with anyone. But yeah, in terms of balance, I don't really have much else to say. For voice direction, I do think this is a pretty fun one because a lot of the gacha games have like pretty like well-known like VAs or seiyus or whatever you want to call them. Like Blue Archive and Fate have like some really famous Japanese VAs, and you might think that might immediately put those at the top of the list. But I think a very well-known case of having a pretty strong VA cast across the board is actually Base Arknights. I think Base Arknights pretty like handedly takes. Wow, this is already going kind of whatever. There you go. I think Base Arknights goes into voice direction. I don't know if you guys have heard Base Arknights. I'm gonna play some. Let me play this because there's like a YouTube short that actually like showed like there's like a short that showed like the Arknights characters just speaking in different languages. Pretty sure if I took an Arknight's accents, I'd probably would get it. Enfield is actually just full corrupting the entire thing. Yeah, I'm only getting Enfield videos when I type in Arknights. It's kind of sad. I'm trying to find like a YouTube short for it because regardless, if you've seen Enfield, you know like for example the bunny girl, the goddess Avi Wena, she's like an Australian or not Australian. Is she Australian? No, I'm not even remembering. Whatever. I'll just play two different videos for you guys. Well, I'll play two videos and you guys will see exactly what I mean. When I say that Arknights has a fair amount of like different accents on it. They just there you go. Yep, there you go. The examples I could think of are bagpipe and rose salt, so I'll go with these.
You're the doctor, aye. Officer Chen Fei Lungman said that I'd be able to find some helpers here. I need to sign my name first. Aye, right enough.
Scottish. And if you like, if you prefer Spanish, there's Rose Salt who speaks a bunch of Spanish.
Alex, are sure. Can't we leave this stuff for tomorrow?
Well, she's also putting on like a cute voice
Please.
to pretend. Where is it?
No. Maldito encapuchado. My road silent bus is ready? Just kidding. ¿Quién hizo esta pesquería de horario escolar? ¿Por qué tengo que sentarme en una clase de etiqueta con esos estúpidos mocosos?
I'm very amused by this kind of thing for an English dub of a game to be this accurate to characters being from certain regions. So for an English dub for the English dub of Arknights to have Rosso just randomly start like being foul mouthed in Spanish after trying to act cute, I like this. This is amusing to me. They do this with a lot of characters too. I mean, some characters just have a regular like standard American accent, but like, yeah, this I like this. This is great to me. I don't think there should be any argument about voice direction unless you're like dub versus sub and you're that kind of person. Which, for the record, I normally actually watch things in the Japanese sub. I normally don't even play the English dub for games, but like it's hard for me to not at least appreciate Arknet's English dub because I think it's just I just like it, the fact that they went as far as they did with their casting. Uh, so yeah, that's great. Now for soundtrack, uh, this is really hard because every Gacha game player immediately is always like, "Yo, my Gacha game, you could compare it to all the other Gacha games. My Gacha game got the best. It's got the best soundtrack. Trust me." Every person says it. There's like a meme about it too, about like, "Ooh, the soundtrack of my Gacha game, is the best." I could pull it up right now. I'm a little lazy, so I won't. But it's every Gacha game player always talks about how good their music is, and they're mostly right. Most of the music is very good, but uh, thinking about like pure volume of like things of the music I like to listen to out of these Gacha games, like a lot of these I could praise. Like Blue Archive has great music. Grand Blue has like Paradise Lost. Nikki has a bunch of great music. I like the Sora events music. I don't know if I could play that on stream because I don't know that's like I don't want to get my stream muted, but like, yeah. HSR has like a lot of people know about HSR because of Wildfire and the Bellabog arc. Most people know Genshin's music is good, at least I'd imagine. Impact Third has like Moon Halo, which I really like. Dragalia had Dalko, the Japanese like singer, do their main lobby theme, which is very nostalgic for me. And Limbus and Arknights, they both have Millie on team, so to sing songs for them. And Zenless also just got a bunch of good music because they do character songs for every new character, and Fate's really good just because the music is really good. My outro theme on my YouTube videos is literally a song from Fate. It's Oberon's theme. So it's kind of hard for me to like specifically say one, which is why I'm gonna cop out again, and I'm going to put multiple here. I'm gonna put Fate. I'm gonna put where is it? Nope. I'm gonna put Zenless. I'm gonna put Arknights, and I'm gonna put Nika and Blue Archive when I find it eventually. Pardon my stupidity, chat. There you go. Wow, I really should have named these. Not pardon? Okay, man. You know what? I made this on very short notice. Okay, and normally if I wasn't streaming this would be edited out. Also, I forgot to put my music back on. Yeah, here you go. uh, yeah, I think these five are the main draws here. I listen to all of these soundtracks a fairly reasonable amount of times. Limbus probably could also make it here because I actually do listen to a lot of Millie tracks, but I don't know which Millie tracks are actually from are from Limbus. Developer support. Okay, I will not lie. When I saw that on like Twitter, I don't actually really think I know what they mean by that. What do they mean by developer support? Like, do they mean like how much the developers actually like pour support into the thing? The Otis meme. You don't know a lot about Olympus, but you know about the Otis meme. Are you talking about like the one where it's like reforging a star? Is I don't remember the exact phrasing. I don't want to say the rest of that meme. I imagine that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that is exactly what you're talking about. Rekindling a dying star. Okay. But yeah, I don't exactly know what they mean by developer support. If we're going purely based off of like how much the devs like is it like what? Like how much the devs actually provide for the players, like freebies and stuff like that, and how much I feel like regardless of anything, I'm really leaning ZZZ here, even though like ZZZ is not my like favorite gacha game or anything, but they give like a lot of things. They give like character buffs, like a lot of character buffs. They give a bunch of like free currency. They do a bunch of events. It's kind of hard for me to not say they give a bunch of support for the community. As for art direction, I don't think I was gonna argue about developers for it probably. It'd be funny if like if there were people arguing in like in like the comments about like oh no my gosh gives more freebies, but I don't think anyone actually does that. Because ZZ does have a lot of events, and I do understand what you mean by saying it makes your head hurt. But the fact that it has that many events, like, it equals to currency, meaning that most people could get like a bunch of currency per patch, which is the benefit of the game. It does give like more currency, I think, per average than like most other gacha games, and it does actually have like. And I know this should be leaning towards balance, but they buff characters a lot in the game. They buffed like what Wycon, Haramasa, Soldier 11, Grace, Ellen, Joe. They buffed so many characters in the game. The developers do be supporting in ZZZ. Art style or art direction. Art style is more or less grading their art style, which isn't very fair. But art direction. I think that ZZZ again puts up a really strong case here, but I'm gonna argue against it for once, which is that I don't like a lot of these games. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't like that a lot of these games. I don't know why I said I don't like these games. I don't like these games. I actually hate all of them. Uh, I don't like that a lot of these gacha games have a really unified art style, or more that the fact that they have a unified art style kind of makes it like you need to have like an amazing art style to actually like stand out. Like, for example, like Stella Sora has a lot of really good designs, but it is not differentiated enough from like a standard just anime that I feel like I'd want to put in art direction. And some of these games like Blue Archive and Nikke used to have like a bunch of different art styles, but I feel like as of more recent, the art style is kind of becoming more like homogenized and similar. That isn't to say again that you like if you have a unified art style that it's bad. Like for example, I think ZZZ and like I also do actually kind of like Limbus's art style. I think ZZZ and Limbus have like good art direction. They're just the games look. I like the art for the games, but anyone who knows me well enough, they know the real. They know what I'm really biased towards, and it's Fate. Fate has a lot of different artists working on the teams, and that's why I like it so much. I like that you will literally find so much different art styles in this game that it is insane. I will pull some of these into GIMP so you guys could see. You will have like some art styles, like for example, this is a pretty like this is some pretty art. Mika Picasso, I think, is the artist's name. Mika Picasso has a very pretty art style. This is just pretty, bro. You can't like Ron Maru is the goat, obviously, but the art style does it justice. Then you have like, I'll put another. I'll put a Jufu. This just goes kind of hard. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say, but it just goes kind of hard. It's very unique art style, and Fate has both of these art styles. And then you start to get like stuff like this. What? This is like a. This is like, I don't even know how to describe it. This don't even feel like a gacha game artwork. This feels like a. This feels like some art piece that someone did for like I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Like it's hard for me to describe. This just is. Maybe aura is just the best way to put it. It's crazy, the artwork for this. You got Antonio Salieri turned into a monster holding a burning manuscript of his memoir. That is, it goes hard. It's tough. And then the one that I think most people know is obviously Thomas Edison. It's Thomas Edison, guys. He's holding the American flag. This is exactly what I mean when I put Fate as being the best art direction. The fact that it is able to contain all these art styles and kind of bridge the gap between them, I think is a testament to how amazing the art direction is. And you say it's goofy as hell, Kairos, but I think it's goated. That image goes crazy. It goes hard, man. You can't. You literally have agreed that it goes hard as hell. So I don't know why you're saying it's goofy, man. It is hard. Now UI is kind of hard here. I will not lie to you. What is the best UI? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I actually just genuinely don't know here. Maybe... I don't know, because like a lot of these games, like Fate has some problems with the UI. I think ZZZ doesn't tell you enough about like the... I don't think ZZZ tells you enough about like what buttons activates what UI. Like the phone is not... I forget sometimes what the button is for it. Nikke's UI is fine. There's a problem with it. You like Nikke's UI a lot. It is fairly good. You know, I'm back, chat. Don't worry. Don't also me. I'm not dead. Yeah, I just came home. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned Nikke's UI. I don't have a problem with Nikke's UI. You know, okay, actually, I will say Enfield. You didn't mention Enfield. I don't have a problem with the actual design of the UI, but I think it's very cluttered when you open up the the menu with escape. There's so many things that it gets kind of like confusing to me sometimes. That could be just a me thing. Maybe. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. GFL is decent. I don't have a problem with that. Limbus, from what I remember, was pretty decent too. Blue. Okay, Uma Musume has a pretty like uniform UI, so it's fine in that regard. A lot of these games have like fairly okay UIs, and it's hard for me. The problem is you notice the UIs that are bad, but it's hard to know a UI that like excels. Because like when I think of good UIs, I'm thinking of like stuff like from like non-gacha games. You know, like Persona has like everyone knows like Persona 5 has like has a great UI. That is true. There is a difference between UI and UX. It's just that from I'm I guess just kind of combining it into the category of the same category. If we're going by UI design, like based off of just how it looks, then I feel like ZZZ should be the best one. Because the actual like interface looks nice for ZZZ. I feel like, oddly enough though, if we're talking about like... If we're talking about actual, I'll put 2 for this because that is true, it says UI and UX. If we're going based off of UI design, then it should be ZZZ because I think that has the best looking UI out of all these games. But if we're talking about like the actual user experience when it comes to like the menus and all that, I think Blue Archive actually might have the best one. It's Blue Archive was very easy to get used to because everything is very easy to know where it is for me. It feels very easy to know what to click on, very easy to get used to. Button for the bond events, button for button for story, button for raid. It's just kind of, yeah. I guess the other thing I'm thinking about actually here is when you're talking about UI, it's not only about menu UI, it's also talking about the UI when you're doing battles. Which again, kind of, I don't know, this is a hard category to actually say. I feel like it's, again, this is me falling on the idea that it's hard for me to recognize a good UI versus like a bad UI. Look, a bad UI is kind of easy to know what a bad UI looks like when something is cluttered on your screen or looks ugly. I'm gonna stick with this because I don't want to think about it anymore, and I'd rather just everyone else could argue about it. I'm alright with being the stupid one here. Yeah, exactly. Good UI design mostly goes unnoticed. It's kind of hard to it's hard to like think of like a good UI except for like really exceptional cases, because usually you think about the really bad cluttered UIs. Community, okay. Now, see, the problem here is if we're looking at communities on Twitter, you all suck. But maybe that's just because I'm looking on Twitter. If we're ignoring that, it's a bit difficult. Because the problem is, no matter what, all these communities are toxic to some different degrees. Nikkei #1. You say that, but there are people who just, like, argue about Nikkei, like, oh, it's not fan servicey enough, we should be nuking the game. Or this, the Lycos recoil thing. Look, I understand not liking Lycos recoil if you don't like it, but there were people who were like losing their mind about Lycos recoil and were like, this is the worst thing ever. Our game has been tainted because of these Yuri, like, and it's like, dude, what the hell is going on here? Like, we need to simmer down. I don't know if Lycos recoil is or isn't Yuri because I didn't watch Lycos recoil. If it is, okay, cool. If it isn't, okay, cool. I don't care. If you like the characters, roll for them. If you don't like the characters, don't roll for them. But like the fact that the community has kind of become something where they argue about that kind of thing, like shipping and all that, and pairs and stuff like that, it kind of reeks. I don't think Nikkei is the only one who does that though, is the problem. Which is why I wouldn't say they're even the worst. I definitely don't think they're the worst. Yeah, gacha games are cringe lords. It's very unfortunate. Like, for example, I know like a lot of people on Twitter, if I was to put like Wuthering Waves here, they'd lose their mind because a lot of people's image of the Wuthering Waves community is like Gacha Grill or whatever on Twitter or whatever. I don't even know what happens in Gacha Grill either. But people are always talking about like, oh, are you part of those incels or whatever? And it's like the people are just arguing about Twitter communities at this point. unfortunately, yeah, Twitter informs a lot of people's opinions on a community. Um, like, okay, realistically, I feel like maybe I should just. Actually, what do I do here? We could be funny and say that Stella Sora has the best community because there's 15 fans total of the game, but I don't think that's very. I don't know why it's catching a stray here, but I don't think that this is very fair. Twitter is a petri dish of hate and toxicity. Yeah, it is. But that's the problem here because I'm afraid to actually mention kind of the communities I think are a little on the better end when it comes to community interactions. Because some of these communities I've interacted with in real life and they're a lot nicer and more they have more people different, like they have more diverse people than you think they would. Because like Nikkei and Blue Archive in real life, the communities have actually been very nice because I've been to pop-up shops for both basically. And well, I've been to a con with in Blue Archive. The community was very nice there, and the artists. There's a lot of artists who support, and they're very nice. And then Nikkei, the pop up shops that I've been to for Nikkei, the people are very nice there again. And it's again, they're both very diverse crowds of like both men and women, like people of random different walks of life, and the community is very nice for both of those. The problem is that a lot of the times people aren't thinking about the real life community though. They're thinking of Twitter. So I don't know what to say. If we are combining both of those in that instance though, then we have to go with the community. I don't know. Cuz then you're left with what are you left with? It's probably like ZZZ or ZZZ or Granblue maybe. Maybe Arknights. Huh. I don't know. Even like okay, like the Limbus company fans I mentioned it earlier. I like even Limbus for example, on Twitter, Limbus fans like, dude. Okay, on Twitter, Limbus company and Blue Archive fans are like in a perpetual war, which is so funny to me because it seems like the companies behind them seem to be fans of each other. So it's always so odd when I see them arguing on Twitter, and it's why I don't want to be like even bothered with like Twitter a lot of times. Because, dude, if I like both of these games, then you're what are you gonna do? You're basically doomed. You're caught in between like the crossfire. So I don't know. Maybe Dragalia is also good, but like Dragalia is also dead. It's the problem is that some of these communities they're good because they're small or they're good because they're dead. What do I even put here? It's actually so difficult. I think I'm gonna put Arknights and Girls Frontline. The Girls Frontline one is probably a bit random, but like, brother, there just be people gooning over feet in that community, and they don't seem to really care. Also, for some reason, they like to comment on the action. Well, honestly, I'm saying for some reason they like to comment on the gun companies like Twitter feeds and be like, "Yo, look at the anime version," which I think is funny. Yeah, Dragalia, rest in peace. I will love to put Dragalia there, but the problem is I didn't commute like I when I played Dragalia, I wasn't really like super engaged with like uh the community. So I can't really speak on the community for it. For the record, also, actually, let me explain one thing because I do want to mention this. Uh, I want to say that ZZZ does seem to have a it does seem to be having some small arguments within the community very frequently. Like there's a group of people who seem to just bro, I was on TikTok earlier today. It seems like there's like a group of people who just despise like Wise So I won't lie, that kind of paints like a little bit of a negative image to me that the community can't seem to get along with each other. Because I was seeing someone be like, I think like someone posted like an image of like Vivian and Wise, and the like one of the top replies was like, it was a kill all Wise fans, and it's like, bro, relax. Well, look, that kind of thing kind of paints my perception of the community. So yeah, although that's the only reason why I didn't end up making it for the community. For Blue Archive, uh, I do think that it has gotten a bit more aggravated, the meanness of the community over time. Because when I started the game like what, last year maybe, I think like last year summer, maybe even earlier than that actually. I started on like Mika when she dropped, whenever that was. I don't even remember at this point. But the community was not that mean, but I'm not gonna get into arguments about Blue Archive's community. So yeah, they the community is at least the people I've interacted with in the community are quite nice, but I can't speak for the community as a whole. And for stuff like Genshin, the other Hoyo games, there are actually nice people in those communities. They're not all very mean or stupid. And Umusume. Umusume has like a group of people who, if you said that, like, I don't look. It is fine to like ships, but there are constant shipping arguments in the Umusume community, and that kind of paints my perception a little more negative because I don't like to see people argue about which ship is more canon or whatever garbage like that. That stinks. So I don't like that. And also, I've seen people like be like, "Oh, we need to kill all gooners." Yeah, this the horses wouldn't like that, and it's like, dude, who cares? Look, I ain't gonna be saying Matikane Fukukitaru and be gooning, but like, I don't care if the dude next door is doing that. Why do I care, man? So that's the reason it's not there, because people be arguing too much in these communities. These communities seem to be the least argumentative, so they get there. Optimization. Optimization I think is actually a very easy one. Once I find it. I think this is the easiest category so far. I think Enfield is like optimized extremely well. The game just seems to run perfectly. I haven't tried it on my phone, so maybe phone users will tell me that it's terrible. But at least on all other systems, it seems to run really well, really well. Not much to say about that. I don't really think. Character design. Am I stupid? What is the difference between art direction and character design? Maybe I should be putting Fate in character design then. You know what? Who cares? We'll pull Fate as both. Yeah, Fate deserves it, guys. It's not like you guys can do anything about it. Okay. This one just says Gacha, but it's monetization, more or less. What Gacha game was the... okay, this is kind of hard to say because you have to look at a lot of different things. Fate is a terrible pity system, but it doesn't have a weapon banner or anything like that. Whereas, like, there's a bunch of games on here that don't have a weapon banner. Like, I know, like, I don't think Limbus has anything like that. No, Limbus definitely doesn't have anything like that. Blue Archive doesn't have that. Enfield optimization. Yeah, no, I agree. Enfield optimization is insane. Like I said, I remember I opened the game and I was like, wow, the game is running on the highest settings and it's like nothing is like dropping. Yeah, but like, I don't know, in terms of monetization, I don't know. Fade, obviously, I'm not gonna put there because pity's insane in that game. Enfield has some good things about it, but I think that the system is I don't like the limited ticket system that they have for some of the stuff, because some of the stuff that's like the tickets are limited time. Uma Musume has like pretty low rates, and pity doesn't carry over, so that stinks. Blue Archive also doesn't have a pity that carries over, but the rates are better in the game. On top of that, there's no weapon, and like leveling up units using Eligma is like very easy, so like you don't ever need to roll duplicates in the game. All the Hoyo games, as much as I think people are gonna be like the Hoyo games, the weapon banners in combination with the fact that duplicates sometimes really, really help solve characters' issues, I think kind of disqualifies it from gacha games. They just are not the most, like, player-friendly. GFL, there's a lot of currency gain in the game, but again, dupes are kind of important for certain characters. Some characters are, like, actually just flat-out useless and, like, if you don't have like a dupe level. Like Yuhi was not useful. I mean, she's useful recently because Yuhi has like the physical team with like Voy Mostin or whatever her name is in M200, but like that's recent for one, like literally new in China. Before that, you needed like V3 for her to be usable. So yeah, I wouldn't put GFL there. Limbus tentatively could be there, because remember the system was fairly generous. Granblue is terrible. I hated the gacha system in that because, again, it's very not generous. It's very hard to hit pity also in that game. It's like 300, I think. What do I put here, actually, guys? I'm a little... Is Nikke... I think Nikke, actually. Is it Nikke? Is it Nikke that's the best monetized? Is it actually? I might be Nikke. I'm like looking at my screen pretty, like, I'm like scanning it. I think Nikke might have the best, like, actual, like, gacha monetization here. It's fairly generous. It's a little loud. Okay, there you go. It's... Okay, I think I might have made the music a little too quiet. I'm gonna... Okay, so now I'm getting picky about my music. Whatever, man. It's good enough. If it's too loud, Shout will tell me. I think... Yeah, no, I really genuinely am thinking that Nikke might be the most generous out of all these. The reason why I'm thinking Nikke is because the currency gain is not too bad in the currency gain is like fairly good in the game. They give a fair amount of rewards. Every event you get 10 tickets, like event tickets, and if it's a big event you get 20, I believe. They have the login events. Most of the units can be wishlist, and if they're limited, like the summer units, you realistically should just be saving your mileage, and mileage carries over between banners, and you could just use gold mileage on characters. On top of that, duplicates are not ever necessary for characters in Nikke unless you want the cosmetic, like, lobby screen. So I think that Nikke, actually, the more and more I talk about it, well, I think that Dorothy's the summer thing is a bad precedent because I don't like the low rate combined with limited. I think at least as it currently stands, Nikke is probably the one. From what I understand, I do remember Limbus to also give like a bunch of currency, so I'll put a tiny Limbus. Like a very, very tiny, tiny. Go tiny. It's necessary synchro machine. Yeah, it is, but at the benefit of Nikke, like to the benefit of the doubt for Nikke, getting your synchro machine, it's you don't even need 5 anymore because Privity is pretty much given immediately, and they've given like multiple free copies of her from what I know, right? On top of that, I mean, the anniversary gives you free SSRs. They remember Chime is an SSR, so is Snow White, Rapunzel. All those are SSRs. And you shouldn't be going for collection, if I'm going to be completely honest. If you're at the beginning of the game, you should be going for max limit break so that you could get in the synchro machine and like get it actually rolling. So getting the synchro machine rolling isn't even actually that hard because you'll eventually get those units. And yeah, I don't know. The rates are not bad enough that I think that you need to be worried about not getting duplicates. Oh, also the shop gives you could get duplicates from the shop. I almost forgot about that. It is the silver mileage. You could use it to get the spare bodies. Okay, gameplay. Now in my tier list, I mentioned that there's some games that are definitely not going to be here. So why don't we get that out of the way? This is going to be a little spoiler for the worst gacha game thing. Oh, hello, Viri. Yeah, for gameplay, I did say this. I think some of these games have terrible gameplay. Look, I love Nikke a lot. I like it a lot, man. It's one of the games I play a lot on comparatively to most of these other ones. I kind of hate the gameplay for Nikke. I think if I'm actually choosing the gameplay for one of these games, it's actually gonna be. Yeah, okay, cool. The cake is on the screen. Do you think I ever look at it when I'm playing the game, dude? I don't even pay attention to the butt. Aw. I'm thinking. I'm thinking really hard right now about which gacha game. Put Snowbreak on the list. You know, if I played the game, maybe I would. Maybe I would if I did, but I don't. At that rate, if I played Snowbreak, I probably would also have Brown Dust on here too, wouldn't I? I'm pretty sure Snowbreak is also pretty fan servicey, isn't it? I think. Do I do Wuthering Waves or do I do Genshin? I think Wuthering Waves Genshin, or it is if you turn off the censorship. No, I'm not. Yeah, don't try to invoke my name to make me play Snowbreak. If there's a pretty white-haired character in the game, then maybe I will. There needs to be a pretty white-haired character in any gacha game to make me want to play them. I think Genshin might be the one who wins this, by the way. I think Genshin might. The current banner is a white-haired character. Is that actually true? Now you're making... If it isn't, I am going to ban my own mod. They better have the white-haired character on the banner right now. I'm gonna show this on the stream because I'm worried. No, I'm saying I'm gonna ban you if you're lying about there being a white-haired character. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. You know, fair enough, fair enough. You know what? Maybe. Maybe I will play it, okay? Someone in the YouTube video. Yeah, I am doubting you because I have reason to doubt you. Someone in the YouTube video for the tier list that I made before, they were saying that I should. They were like asking where's Battle Cats. So I'm already getting people telling me in the comments to like play other gacha games. So I already have a list now. The devs did a sneaky. They forced the sense of the game, so they put a text file in it. Okay, but that's actually kind of goated that it's that simple to uncensor the game. I don't know if I would play it uncensored because I don't know how much I want. I'm not sure if I want to or not. It needs to be decided, but that is very base that they let you change it that easily. It's better than like how I think like Fate, the not the Gacha game, like Fate Hollow Ataraxia, you would have to download like a completely separate patch to even play the uncensored version, I think. Which that stinks, because yeah. You know, looking at this, the gameplay for these games, I don't know. Do I do Genshin or do I? See, I think the Genshin's gameplay, like, logically is the best, but is it the one that I like the most? I don't actually know about that. If it's the one I enjoy the most. The problem is that both Genshin and WoW, to some degree, become like rotation simulators where it's just like you click the button, you do your rotation, and then you do it over and over and over again without ever thinking about the boss mechanics. That's the actual problem of both of those games and why I feel like kind of iffy about saying they're the best gameplay. Because you don't actually really need to engage with the enemy. It kind of just becomes like a, can you do your combo? Do your combo over and over again. Don't engage with the enemy. Have I played all these games on the list? The only game I haven't played, well, yeah, actually no, I have basically played all these games on the list. Some of them I have less experience playing than others, but like for example, I didn't like Limbus Company's like gameplay that much, so I have like minimal experience. And Granblue's gameplay I also hated, so I have minimal experience. Everything else on this list I have experience with. I don't know if you played it at the turn-based games. Go to Gacha games is wizardry. I actually do like turn-based games, considering I'm a bit of an odd person apparently for liking Fate Grand Order's gameplay, because I do like Fate Grand Order's gameplay. So I probably will like whatever turn-based game you're recommending. This is difficult. You know, like the problem is that I don't know. I'm thinking more and more about like, because some of these you do have to engage with the bosses, like the enemy design of like how they fight, but they also just stink gameplay wise. like yeah, Nikke forces you to engage with the actual like the restrictions that Mother Whale puts on you. But I hate playing Nikke and I hate Mother Whale, so why would I say that it's the best? Blue Archive is very middle of the ground because I don't hate the gameplay, and you do have to engage with the enemy design because they have very specific designs. But again, I wouldn't put it at the top. I don't know. You know... ZZZ is close to being good is the thing. I think it's close to being better than the others in that regard. But the problem, again, you have to engage with the boss a little more than Genshin. But... man. You know, maybe I'll just put ZZZ. ZZZ is getting a lot more wins than I thought they would. They're getting a lot more wins than I thought they would. Which is crazy, because I've literally told Kairos that I was going to drop ZZZ multiple times, I just never ended up dropping it, but apparently I like it enough to put it as the winner in multiple categories. I put world, I don't know, I think this was actually supposed to be a world building, but I kind of just, I got lazy and didn't type it out. There you go. You can't get to ZZ no matter how many times. If I'm gonna be completely honest, the story's okay. I can't say much for the story. The story's okay, but I think that's the case for a lot. There's a lot of Gacha games on here who I think are just okay with their game, with the story. I like the gameplay for ZZZ, but that's also because I got a lot of characters who have really fun play styles that I get to do silly things. If you don't get the characters, then you can't do the funny things. Like I get Evelyn and Dial In, and I get to do like a weird like chain attack, manual chain attack spam, And that's cool and fun and kind of technically difficult, so I like it. But if you don't get those characters, you can't do that, really. Also, I know some people just don't like how... Some people feel like it's just completely, like, style over substance. I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah. Ah! Kairos! Banish him! Banish the bot. Um... Yeah, ZZZ is probably what I'll put for gameplay, even though, yeah, ZZZ is probably what I put for gameplay. I don't... Just, I don't know if Kairos is here, so let me actually ban this dude myself. It's fine, it's fine. I'm baby when it comes to streaming, so actually, can you ban him? I don't know how to do it. I haven't streamed in so long, I forgot how to goddamn ban people. Yeah, I think ZZ is probably what I put for gameplay. It's kind of crazy when I'm thinking about it more and more, but like, you know, most gacha games, you got the hacker data. Yeah, that's what I would do on your stream too, because I when I opened it up, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna watch things in moderator mode, man. You know, like, I'm actually looking at these more and more. I feel like there's issues with so many of these gacha games gameplay that, you know, if I realize people really aren't playing these games for the gameplay all that much. A lot of these games kind of suck. You know, I say that. I literally made a video talking about taking a break from a gacha game, but you know, looking at this list, I'm realizing more and more how right I was in that video, that most of these games kind of do suck to some degree. I can't confidently say any of these games I love the gameplay for. Go into world building, though. I don't know. I think I might go with Arknights here. It's either Arknights or Fate, because both of the worlds in those games are, like, I think actually well developed and meaningfully, like, built upon. The problem with a lot of these other games is that the world it's like they don't focus too much on the actual greater world. They focus more on individual characters, which is fine, but they let the world building take too much of a backseat. So I think that Fate and Arknights kind of dumpster here. And we're very close to the end. Characterization. You know, a lot of these games actually kind of suck at characterization too. I feel like I'm just saying, am I just insulting every gacha game now? While trying to make a best gacha game thing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't. You know, I'm thinking about it, but it's kind of hard for me to say that much of these gacha games do a good job of characterization. Because a lot of these games, they feel kind of like they make the characters a little shallowly, or they make the character well written, and then they never actually do anything with them ever again. Which is why I'm actually giving it to 2 games again. I'm giving it to Blue Archive, and I'm giving it to Limbus Company. Okay, not that one, that's a tiny copy. There you go. I think both these games do a really good job with characterization. Limbus kind of focuses a lot on character writing, it seems. So, I mean, that's to its benefit. And while Blue Archive does have like some world building on it, it focuses way more on the individual than anything else, and I think that's to its benefit. They both have genuinely just... They have lovable characters. I don't know. That's all I can really say. They got a lot of lovable characters. Fate does too, and it realistically could be in characterization, but maybe. You know, this was supposed to be a only one per like thing, but I'm so not decisive that I'm just putting everything I can. Writing. I don't know. See, the problem is, I've talked to you about this, Kairos, but one of my major problems, one of my major problems with a lot of gacha games is that they have a bit of an issue when it comes to consistency. Like, they're very inconsistent. A lot of them have like decent chapters, then really bad chapters, then really good chapters. So, I don't know, it's kind of hard to judge writing. I feel like... Yeah, it makes me sad too, because some of the games I would feel like I would want to rate higher otherwise. Like, I want to put Nikke there really badly, but some of the... Like, okay, I know that they're resolving it more and more, the thing with yeah, it is good, it is pretty good consistently normally, but... There's one character, it's just Dorothy. Dorothy just aggravates me as a character because she just keeps appearing in chapters, keeps on going, oh, I'm gonna get my revenge. And then someone talks to her, and they're like, you shouldn't do that. And then she's like, you know, I might reconsider. And then she's just like, 2 seconds later, she's like, in another chat, she's like, you know what, actually, I want revenge. And then she gets surprised when the revenge doesn't, and it's like, okay, I don't mind if she's like, stupid. Frankly, I just don't like how it feels like Dorothy's character legitimately... I know maybe the theme of the character is that she isn't moving on, but like, don't give her so much screen time then. It's hurting my brain that she just literally is like a massive boulder in the story that is never moving, and the camera just keeps panning to the boulder and being like, yo guys, it's not moving. It's not moving. Fate also okay, Fate, the first half of the story is pretty inconsistent with how it's written. And then after like the second half of the game began, like what, like 10 years ago? Not 10 years ago, but like 5 years ago? 5 years ago, ever since 5 years ago, the story for Fate has been like extremely consistent, and it's consistently amazing. But does that excuse the 5 years of poop? I don't know. Blue Archive is just good. The problem is Blue Archive is really good, but it doesn't reach the same peaks as the others. This is tough. If I value consistency, Blue Archive wins. If I don't value consistency, then something else wins. It's consistent, but like less high peaks, because they have one really good peak, and then like the rest of it is like less good, but still really good. Arknights is also quite good, but I also think that it's... No, I think Arknights is really good. I might cop out again. I don't know. This one's hard because I'm gonna make a caveat here. If you value consistency, then I think that Blue Archive wins very handedly. Otherwise, I think that you have to put like I haven't caught up to like Limbus's story either, so I can't actually say too much about Limbus Company. But if you don't value consistency, then I think the top three are probably like Limbus and Limbus Fate and Arknights. But if you do value consistency, then I'm gonna make a little caveat here too. Ooh. Well, big as hell, goddamn. Okay, that's too sounds too small. There you go. There you go for the people who are gonna skip straight to the end of the video. Whoops. God, move the. God damn it. So let me move the. God damn, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, there you go. Now notably, there's some games that didn't win any category. So let's give a round of applause for the people who won nothing, guys. Wuthering Waves is the first one. They won nothing. Let's clap for them. Dragalia, they won nothing. Impact Third won nothing. Genshin won nothing. Star Rail. I might be mean by doing this. I don't know. Enfield won nothing. So is Sora. Well, actually, no. Enfield did win something. They won optimization. You know, I'll even I'll put it in here. Winless losers. So, how are we feeling about this list, guys? I think this is a fairly reasonable list. I could maybe cut down like everything to 1 if I really was pushing it. To be fair. If I was really pushed to like remove things, this is what I would want to say because I prefer how it is like this. If I was really pushed to like only choose 1 per category, I'd probably move Zenless out of here. I think for soundtrack, I'd probably be obligated to either do like ZZZ or maybe Arknights. Yeah, I think it'll be like that maybe. Developer support, art direction, yeah. For UI, I think I think I'd probably go with Blue Archive because the main menus are actually just better they have better navigation. I'm gonna leave the community alone because I don't really care to leave that for 1. For Gacha, I'd probably leave it to Nika because I have just more experience with it. For world building, that's kind of tough. I think that I don't know, actually I'll leave that as those two. If I was to really get down to these ones though, my Fate I think it has to be booted out of characterization. And I'm still gonna leave the consistency thing here because it is true. If you value consistency, Blue Archive should win. If you really slim this down to 1, I think I like the way that Fate is written the most. There you go. I stripped down the list even more. Those are not winless losers. These are the winless losers. If you were to go for the winless losers, or if you were to strip everything down to that, to the basics, these are the winless losers. Dragalia, Wuthering Waves, Impact Third, Genshin, Star Rail, Grand Blue Fantasy, Uematsu, and Stellar. They're all losers. These are the winners. we could give them a round of applause. Good job to these games. They all accomplished the very hard feat of being better than other gacha games. I'm sure that was very difficult. I think I was going to do a version with the worst version of each characters, but I'm not too sure if I actually have the time for that. I would have also liked to do more, like, okay. You guys can't actually see my task. You guys can't see my taskbar. Let me... Actually, no, I could probably just show it to you guys. I would have ran through, if I had enough time, I would have actually ran through my dailies and just show you guys how much goddamn gacha games I have on my computer, because it would have been like, I would have opened up this first. Then I would have opened up, which one would I would have opened up Solasora next. Then I would have opened up, where's Enfield? I'll open up Enfield. Then, if I was opening it up on my computer, then I would open up Nikkei. Then I would open up Genshin, then Wuthering Waves. Then it would be Star and then it would be ZZZ. That is my desktop rotation of gacha games, guys. That is horrifying now that I'm saying it out loud. That is terrible. That is my desktop rotation of gacha games that I play. That was terrible. You know, the benefit of some of these, at least. Dailies take, like, 5 minutes in that. Dailies take 5 minutes in that. Yeah, no, these two are kind of great because they don't take any time at all. Technically, dailies take 5 minutes in this too. But I don't really open this on my computer anyway. I open that on my phone. Dailies aren't even very long in this anymore either, actually. But they don't have a PC version yet, so... That is kind of insane. Yeah, I know it is. That actually isn't even taking into account the ones I open on my phone. If you want to know my phone rotation, it would actually make it a little longer. My phone rotation is more like English version, Japanese version, since I play both servers. Then it'd be English version, Japanese version, because I play both versions. Then I haven't played the English version of Uematsume like at all. Actually, I've almost completely stopped playing it. I hate not having an auto in the game. It takes too long to do a career, so I just don't play it anymore. It would be this then. Do I have anywhere? Oh, I'm forgetting Arknights. Yeah, that's my desktop rotation versus my mobile rotation. You gotta play more than 2 at a time. That's good. I'm actually okay. I will not lie to you guys. I've been recently thinking about what gacha games I want to drop, cause I realize I don't. This song is making me want to give like a stupid speech, and okay, about me valuing my time. Chat, value your time. Please value your time. Give yourself more value. Don't let these games dictate you. They're trying to take away your money and your time. You're worth more than that, chat. Ignoring that, I'm actually looking to drop some of these games. I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna I'm gonna stick with GFL because there's one character I really want in that. I'm probably gonna go like a little lighter on Enfield because I don't feel too strongly about it. I'll probably continue playing Nikkei. The funny thing is, some of these games I barely play. I'm considering dropping both of these, actually, because I don't like the story for these games. Or more like, I hate the balance for this, and I don't really care that much about this game. Wuthering Waves is, like, in between, is on the verge of being dropped. This I am probably going to keep now, because I've been playing it more and more. If I learned Japanese, I would not play the English version for Fate. My Japanese account is so stacked. It's insane. Bro pumping gacha like nicotine. That's why I'm trying to I'm cutting it down. That's why I want to cut it down. I could fully drop the Japanese version of Blue Archive because I don't really care that much. Yeah. And yeah, that would be my this would be my rotation if I was realistically coming down to it. Star Rail story nosedived after Bellabog. I liked the Amphorius, but the them doing the new planet and them changing it from like I know it's because they couldn't help to change it, but like them being like, oh, it's not gonna be Japan themed anymore, it's gonna be like a random sci-fi city, and then them revealing all the characters and it's just like, oh yeah, here's the second version of Blade, here's the second version of Silverwolf, here's a second version of all these characters that you've seen before for like the 3000th time, and we're gonna introduce a new path for the second time. It was like so anti-hype for me that I don't know why. I was just like, wow. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't care. I definitely do understand it though, because bro, Bellabog, dude, the story after Bellabog was the Xianzhou Alliance. That was terrible. That was actually just flat out awful. So I don't even blame you for that. Yeah. The thing is, if I'm talking about actual stories I'm invested in, there's not even that many Gacha games with stories I'm invested in. It would really come down to like that. Oh, the one after the Xianzhou Alliance, yeah, Penacony. Yeah, I don't think Kairos was able to get into Penacony either. He's talked to me about how he couldn't really get into it either. So you're not alone on that. Where the music go? I'm taking a wild guess that the playlist just ended, which is very easily fixable because I could just. Yeah, here we go to this. Sure, some Blue Archive music. I saw someone play. I'm gonna pause the music for a second. I saw someone play this song on their stream, and I think someone in their chat said Blue Archive music is penis music, and I know that's still very funny to me. I know. Don't know if I agree exactly because I like Blue Archive music, but it was funny. But yeah, these are the only 4 Gacha games I think I'm actually like invested in the story for. I don't really think I'm that invested in the story for most of these other Gacha games. I need to get back into Limbus because I was very invested in the story for it, but then I dropped it because I was playing with 17 other Gacha games. There you go. You know, the other thing about these Gacha game stories actually that kind of sucks is that a lot of these Gacha games have like genuinely terrible first chapters. There's like maybe like a collective of like 2 Gacha games on this list that don't have terrible first chapters. Or like 3 Gacha games on here. Like I think the only Gacha games that have like good first chapters here that don't immediately. Okay, well actually, Star Rails is not bad, but I think it's a little overrated. This is very completely off topic, but I kind of already finished basically what I planned on doing for the stream for now, so I'm gonna shoot the shit a little bit before I end stream. I feel like if I was to say what stories on here actually have like a good first, like they had like a good beginning, like a good start, I'd really only be left with like Star Rail has a decent first chapter start. Nika has a strong first story chapter start, I think. Limbus is a fairly strong one too. And Blue Archive is a really strong one. I'll put it on the same level here. Yeah, I feel like generally speaking, most of these other Gacha games, the first chapter is kind of dookie, kind of bad. Like, I didn't really like Arknight's first chapter that much. It was a little boring to me. This was garbage, the first chapter. I don't remember the first chapter for Dragalia. Yeah, a lot of these gacha games don't have amazing first chapters. If they had a good first chapter or a good beginning, they'd probably be the greatest, one of the greatest gacha games of all time to most people. Because my god, the story later on is so good for this. This GIMP page also turned into a complete and utter goddamn mess. I could maybe quickly do the worst one. I think I could probably do that. I would need to move these though, and I have to quickly rearrange it. We'll do that, and then after that I'll download the VOD and upload it to YouTube. If I was to go for that though, then we used to have a bunch of copies. The worst balance is Sawrail, without a doubt. I won't really explain too much of these because I'm tired. But yeah, I'm not even tired. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just don't have too much time left, so I'm gonna just quickly run through these. Since I kind of explained a lot of the negatives during the best part. Sawrail is definitely the worst in terms of one of the worst in terms of balance. It is so goddamn unbalanced. Maybe you could put Impact third there too, because it seems like they also similarly have balance issues, but I'm gonna just stick with that one. Voice direction. Do any of these games actually have truly bad like voice direction? I don't know if any of these games have like genuinely terrible voice direction. I know like some people say Wuthering Waves is bad voice direction, but I don't even know if that's true. I think people are just too harsh on the games that are competing with theirs. I have an idea. I have an idea, chat. This is what we do. What happened to the tier list? Oh, I just nuked it to do a word. I probably should actually edit this. I'm quickly running through a worst version of this. I already explained what I dislike about these games, so I'm just quickly running the inverse of it. Because why not? I'm gonna do this as my last thing before I end stream. Yeah, for voice direction, this is my answer. Worst soundtrack? Okay, developer support. Which of these gacha devs does not give any support to their fans? You know, normally you would say Fate, but Fate gave like 1,000 Saint quartz on their anniversary. That's a lot of quartz. I don't know. Maybe Genshin does take it here. Not a lot of events. Not a lot of gems. Maybe, actually no, I think there's a better answer here. I think Sawrail actually probably takes this, doesn't it? I can't even see where Sawrail is because there's only one Sawrail then, because I forgot it didn't win anything. Well, I actually just am like, I'm blind. Oh, there it is. I say I actually physically cannot see it. Yeah, I think that's the worst developer support. Art direction. That's tough. I think it might be another. I think we're getting a Dumbledore sweep here. I don't think any of these games actually have bad art direction. In terms of balance, or not balance, in terms of UI, some of these games have pretty cluttered UI, but I don't know. I don't think any of them also have anything truly heinous. Maybe unpopular opinion. I really don't like the main menu for that, so maybe I'll just put that there. Oh, you know what I definitely will do? I will definitely be putting community as both Genshin and WoW so that they were forced to sit next to each other. They're forced to be, I made the joke in the last video. They're going to be in the get along shirt. It does not matter what they say. They both suck. Optimization. I don't think any of these games are actually even that poorly optimized, but I don't know. I'll just put Dumbledore again. Character design. Do any of these guys have truly heinous looking characters? I don't even think they do. I'm gonna be honest, I kinda don't feel that strongly about a lot of these character designs. Gacha, this is far more reasonable. This is far more reasonable. I just skip the Nikkei song. I don't need to hear the Nikkei shop theme. Gotcha. Where, you know, I think we could put. I think we could probably put Fate here. The Gotcha is pretty bad. But there's gonna be someone joining them. We're gonna have Genshin join them because I think the weapon banner sucks in that game, and I don't like the dupes. I don't like the fact that dupes kind of matter sometimes. And I think Nikkei is the game I dumpster the most in terms of gameplay, so I'll probably put Nikkei as like the image of it. World building. What was the worst world building here? I don't even know. All those games kind of do a decent job, at least, of building a base for the world. I think we might be getting a Dumbledore again. Because a lot of these games, the problem is I'm thinking bad. None of these are like terrible. Like it's actually like so bad that it's like I cannot imagine like a Gacha game having these. They're all decent. Characterization. I think a lot of the Hoyo games could get this in WoA too. You know, it'd be kind of funny. I think this would be kind of funny.
Let's see what we've got.
And now all we have left is writing. You know, I might put. Okay, no, I don't. Am I being mean for putting Genshin and WoA for everything as bad? I need to think more, because writing is such a general thing. I don't know why the person on Twitter put that as a category. I think... What do I think, actually? I don't even know what I think at this point. Maybe Enfield is what I should put for now, because right now I guess it isn't as good as the others. It was a pretty... I don't know, but the problem is it's building on base Arknights, so even though it's not amazing, and it's not living up to Arknight's expectations, it's still not bad either. That's actually might be the toughest category, because there's... Look, if I'm going to be completely honest, and say... What the hell is this even hovering? Oh, it's fade, okay. If I was to say all the gacha games that I have serious issues with their writing, then it would look something like this. This is what it would look like if I was putting every gacha game where I have issues with the writing. Well, I probably shouldn't be there, actually. What put ZZZ there? ZZZ, at least the characters are more present after the quest is finished. Yeah, it really will be this. The problem with these is consistency combined with the fact that characters really don't seem to matter past their their patch cycles. So there you go, very, very short and quick this one, but yeah, concocting the worst gacha game of all time. Fairly simple. Yeah, at least all things considered. I don't think I have anything else, so at least for the YouTube side of thing, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support, and see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.